Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. We got another Sunday morning hangout here, getting you guys ready for week number 11. I'm going to start the show just reading off some of the latest player actives, and then I can get into your questions. I'm just refreshing my feed real quick right now, and I'm seeing, well, the big one was George Kittle, unexpected to play. Unlikely to play is the actual phase. So if you need a tight end for week 11, let me know. We can talk about some tight ends. I think Dawson Knox, Will Dissly, some of those guys might be the most interesting tight end. So I am seeing Devontae Adams, who was missing practice with the illness/wrist. He is active for week 11, so good news for the Jets. Tyler Boyd, active for the Titans. George Kittle, unlikely to play. Jaylen Warren, expected to play week 11, barring a setback. He had the back injury early in practice this week. The report, interesting. The Jags could fire Doug Peterson with the loss to the Lions. Mike McCoy, candidate for interim job. We'll see what happens there. We did get a little bit of concern with CeeDee Lamb yesterday. His back injury popped up on the report, but it's not of high concern. I know they play Monday night. I'm expecting CeeDee Lamb to play. Hopefully everything's going to be fine. It was just more of like a day of rest. And then Jake Ferguson's not on the injury report for Monday night. You can expect Jake Ferguson to play. And that's pretty much all I got so far. So I'm going to open it up and say good morning. Good morning, Chase. Get your questions in the chat, guys. Real quick dynasty question. Which side do you like better? Dobbs plus Irving plus first for Nico. Let me put it into one of my trade calculators. So Dobbs, Irving, and a first. I can't really put in, okay. And then we got Nico. Okay. So if it's even just Dobbs and Irving for Nico, you're getting a huge value there. So swapping a first to a second, I think it's fine. It's a late first. It's a late second. If you just remove the two draft picks, Dobbs plus Irving for Nico is a slam dunk. So I like that trade, Chase. Start three in full PPR. We got Thomas Jr., Pittman, Waddle, Dobbs, Palmer, or Estime. I'm not super excited about Estime in full PPR. He hasn't caught a pass all year. I do like him to get upwards of, 12 to 15 carries today, and he does have a chance at a rushing touchdown. So, you're probably looking at 50 to 70 yards as his floor, 5 to 7 point floor. And if he gets that touchdown, he could be upwards of 15 fantasy points. But in full PPR, I usually tend to lean with the wide receiver position. I think I want to believe in Brian Thomas Jr. today against the Lions. I'm not super excited about it, but I think if I'm starting three, I'm starting Brian Thomas Jr. just on upside alone. I'll probably throw Jalen Waddle in there against the Raiders. And then my last one will probably be Romeo Dobbs. So I'm going Thomas, Dobbs, and Waddle, Estime a low-end play. Can I trust Pat Freiermuth this week as I need someone to fill in for Trey McBride? It's a good matchup. We like the passing matchup for the Steelers passing offense against the Ravens defense today. So I'm open to it. I don't think he's like a smash pick, but he's got a good chance at a touchdown. 2-3 catches is kind of his floor. I don't love him. I mean, I like Will Dissly more. I like Taysom Hill. I like Jonnu Smith, Dawson Knox. I like those guys more than Pat Freiermuth if I needed a tight end. And hey, good morning to Brian. Hope you're doing well. Good morning to Harris. Bigsby's or Javonte Williams rest of season. I mean, both these guys have very, very bad outlooks rest of season of late. Javonte losing carries to Estime. Bigsby hurt. Doesn't look like he's going to get the game scripts that he's going to need to be able to lead the team in carries. So I guess I'll hold on to Javonte Williams because I know he's got a receiving workload. I'll go Javonte. Pearsall or Jaden Reed, full PPR. I'm going to lean Jaden Reed here. I do like the matchup, though, for the 49ers today. But Pearsall is the clear number 3 option in that passing offense. Maybe the number 4 if you count Christian McCaffrey. So I get the enticement of, no George Kittle. Maybe Ricky Pearsall is the guy. But I'm going to lean Jaden Reed against the Bears today. Mike Gesicki or Pat Freiermuth. Not super excited about Gesicki against the Chargers. That's a good defense. T. Higgins is back, so I don't really trust that as much. I'll lean Pat Freiermuth, but this one's a true coin flip. In the super flex today, I kind of want to lean Anthony Richardson against the Jets. I don't really have a ton of faith in Caleb Williams. Packers defense, they tend to get turnovers, and we'll see if they can get to the quarterback today, but there's just nothing going for the Bears that make me want to think I can start Caleb Williams today. So I'm going to lean Anthony Richardson today, his first game back. Elijah Moore or MVS, full PPR. Ooh. I guess I'll go Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Maybe the hot hand is the answer. I don't see Elijah Moore having a huge game. He's probably safer to have 3-4 catches. But if you want the big play, you go with Marquez Valdes-Scantling. So if you just need 8 points, you go with Elijah Moore. If you want that big potential 15 to 20 point play, you go with MVS. But I will lean MVS here. Jauan Jennings or Deebo Samuel rest of season. Okay. That's where we're at right now with Deebo Samuel. We're getting a little frustrated with Mr. Deebo. So I think you have to lean Deebo Samuel as of this morning. But if Jauan Jennings goes out and has a big game today, like last weekend's usage looked really, really good for Jauan Jennings. So I'm very open to Jennings maybe being the answer here. Let me just double check a couple of things here and make sure. It feels wrong to say Jennings, but we're this close to flipping them. So I guess I'm gonna say Deebo for now, but I'm very interested in maybe getting Jennings rest of season. Brock Wright or Freiermuth. I don't really trust the volume in Detroit for passing today. I think they're going to be able to run the ball, play with the lead, not have to throw the ball a ton. Brock Wright, sure, he could catch a touchdown, but his outlook is probably like 1 or 2 catches, 15 yards, 20 yards, and a touchdown. So I don't really see a huge ceiling there. I'll go Pat Freiermuth over Brock Wright. I'm going to hit refresh on my feeds and see if anything else has come through today. Just a list of actives here: Jalen Warren, Devontae Adams, Tyler Boyd, Jair Alexander, Evan Williams for the Packers defense, Montez Sweat for the Bears, Michael Mayer. All those guys are active, and a couple guys inactive there: KJ Osborne and backup tight end Harrison Bryant. Is Devontae Adams worth benching for either Sutton or Jennings? Oh, I mean, if he's not feeling 100%. I think this is an interesting thing. I do like his matchup today. I still kind of rank him as like a strong wide receiver too. I'm going to lean with Devontae Adams, but if you're nervous and you don't really want to do it, I do think Jauan Jennings is a safe play. I still like Courtland Sutton as well. I'm not super excited about Sutton, but if I had to bench one of these guys, I'll do Courtland Sutton. But I'm going to stick with Devontae Adams if I have him. Brian with the hot question here. I'm probably the president of the Rico Dowdle fan club. I'm very, very excited about Rico Dowdle's opportunity tomorrow night. I don't think Hunter Lepke is going to play. That's the guy that's been their fullback, third down kind of guy. So I'm playing, if it's me, I'm playing Rico Dowdle over Tony Pollard. It's a tough matchup for Tony today. Going up against the Minnesota Vikings, I don't really trust the Titans offense. I don't trust the Cowboys offense either. But even in a terrible game script last weekend, we saw Rico Dowdle still get his 8-9 PPR points. So just the coach speak from Mike McCarthy this weekend. I think we're going to probably see upwards of 15 to 20 touches for Rico Dowdle in this one. So I'm going to go Rico. And again, the big one there is that Hunter Lepke, the fullback, third down back, not practicing. He's listed as doubtful. That could be more passing work for Rico Dowdle. Amari Cooper or Travis Etienne. So I'm a little nervous about Amari Cooper just with a wrist and a soft cast. He really hasn't been involved in a lot of Buffalo Bill action yet. So you might be able to convince me that Etienne is the play today because no Tank Bigsby. They're going to be down, which means some dump offs. I will lean Travis Etienne here. And if they do get to a goal line opportunity, I would imagine ETN's the goal line back over Dearness Johnson. So I think ETN's probably the safer play and a stronger option. Amari Cooper could be good today, but again, we just really haven't seen it. I don't really know what to trust with Amari Cooper quite yet. And it's a tough matchup. Like, you don't really want to be messing around with the Chiefs defense. Whereas the Lions defense, I know they're better against running backs, but if we do get that game script where they're throwing the ball and maybe dumping it off to ETN, I think that could be nice. So get your questions in, guys. I think we got all the active players out of the way. I was just going to open up the NFL weather machine and see what we got brewing today. Packers, Bears, that's in Chicago. It's mostly cloudy, 12-mile-per-hour wind, so good news there. Lions are in a dome. The Titans in Tennessee today versus the Vikings, 68, partly cloudy, sunny. Looks good there. It looks good in Miami. Looks good in New England. No rain today on the schedules, although... yeah, as I'm seeing it here, there's likely rain for the Seattle-San Francisco game, so expect a little bit of rain for that late game. And then Kansas City, Buffalo, slight chance of rain showers, but overall the weather looks decent today for most of these games. What can I expect from Lions RBs today? So I think we're going to see a lot of David Montgomery today. The Lions are going to have their way with this Jags defense. I think we're going to see everything hit for the Lions today. The Jags, they're giving up a healthy amount of running back points per game. And if we look at what they've been kind of giving up the last few weeks, Aaron Jones ran for 88 yards last week. Cam Akers had 38, and the third running back had 18 yards. So almost 150 yards rushing from the Vikings last weekend. No rushing touchdowns, but you can run. Saquon Barkley lit him up for 159 yards. Josh Jacobs went for 127. The Jags really stifled the Patriots in that game. That game doesn't really count, but DeAndre Swift has had success. We've seen a lot of running backs just be able to rack it up. So I'm expecting Montgomery, 18 carries for 90 some yards. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is probably a guy that's going to get 15, 16 carries today and potentially over 100 all-purpose yards. So I think both Lions running backs are smash plays. And I think you're just going to see everything kind of work for the Lions today as I'm wearing a Jacksonville Jaguar sweatshirt. So start your Lions. I do like the price today. I was looking at DraftKings this morning. I do like the price of David Montgomery today. I think he's an interesting play. Let me see what else we can find here. I wanted to look at some of the sports book odds today. If you guys need a defense today, the Packers defense, they're getting two starters back on defense. They're playing the Bears fresh off a bye for the Packers. I think Green Bay's in a really good spot. They're 6-point favorites at Chicago, and there's only 40.5 points implied in that one. So something pretty low scoring here. I'm thinking, 24-18, 24-17, something in that range for the Packers game today. The Lions are 14-point favorites at home, 48 total implied in that one. Their Lions are probably scoring 31, 38 points today. So get your Lions in. I think Jared Goff's a sneaky DFS play. The Vikings are 6-point favorites in a 40-point game. Start your Vikings defense. I think the game I'm most excited about at the noon slate is the Ravens-Steelers. That game should be a fun shootout. 48 total points implied in that one. You can start the Dolphins defense today, 43.5 implied in that one. The Dolphins are 8-point home favorites. Not sure what to expect from that Rams-Patriots game. I think a lot of people are starting the Rams D today. They're 4-point favorites in New England, 43 total points implied on that one. Let me see what we got here. Amari Cooper or Jennings. I'm going to go Juwan Jennings here, Harris. I love the Texans defense. Like maybe Rams defense might be set and forget for me at this point. Rams defense has gotten a lot better over the year. So I do like the Rams. Again, that game's a low scoring game. You're probably going to get a turnover or two from that Patriots offense. And who knows? The Rams tend to make some special teams plays happen. I think the Rams are in a good spot today. And Jared Verse, oh my God, he's a really good rookie coming on for the Rams right now. Otherwise, the Texans defense is a solid start against the Cowboys. There shouldn't be a lot of points scored in that game tomorrow night. But otherwise, defenses that I do like. Texans, I don't know how to read the Saints-Browns game today. That one's a tough one. Yeah, Jared Verse is a monster. But I do like the Dolphins, the Vikings, the Lions, and the Packers today if you're playing DFS or you need a streaming defense for the week. I'm just going to take a peek here and see what other things I like for the DraftKings lineups today. I think for quarterback pricing, I really do like I like the Russell Wilson stack today with George Pickens, and I've gotten a few Pat Freiermuth questions here today, so maybe Pat Freiermuth is a sneaky tight end that could get some work. I do want to look real quick here at the fantasy points allowed to tight ends. Let's see. The Ravens against tight ends. So they're giving up about 14 PPR points per game to the tight end right now. Last week, they let Tanner Hudson go 6 for 42 and a touchdown. Mike Gesicki went 4 for 30. So over 23 fantasy points to the Bengals tight ends last weekend. The Broncos don't have a tight end, and they didn't score points against the Ravens. Njoku went 5 for 61 and a touchdown. Cade Otton went 8 for 100 against the Ravens. Zach Ertz, 4 for 68. The Bengals didn't do much back in that week. Dalton Kincaid had a good game. So I guess if you like Pat Freiermuth today, I think there's a path where Freiermuth could be a sneaky tight end option for you. Brock Purdy or Justin Herbert rest of season. I'm still sticking with Brock Purdy. The dude's been running the ball a ton. I was looking at his rushing numbers the other day. He's already surpassed his 2023 rushing totals, and he's probably going to double that number from here on out. So he's adding a lot of yards per game with his legs. He's got 3 rushing touchdowns on the year. I think the offense is only going to get better with Christian McCaffrey now, especially catching passes and potentially more touchdowns for Brock Purdy. Whereas Herbert's been playing really well the last 3 games here, but there's still not enough passing volume in that offense for me to fully trust it. Only 18 passing attempts last week, 27 the week before. He does have a really nice safe floor, but I think Brock Purdy is the way to go rest of season right now. And the 49ers really need to put their foot on the gas as they're trying to overtake Arizona in the West, and they're still outside the playoffs right now. They need to keep their foot on the gas. But if you guys don't have any more final questions, I will get out of here. Good luck today. Hope you guys get everything that you need. I'm very excited about a few of the games today. I think the Chiefs are probably going to pull off the win against Buffalo today. I'm rooting for Buffalo, though. I want to see Buffalo knock off the Chiefs. And then I think tonight's game, it's got playoff atmosphere vibes tonight. I think Bengals, Chargers, we're going to see 2 awesome quarterbacks duel it out. But that's it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching. Good luck with everything that you need today. Enjoy the games. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Got me feeling icy.